Welcome back. Last minute episode. Yeah, I don't know what that was. It's been a while. It's episode 184. I haven't done this for a month.
You should hear the outros. They're bad.
Yeah, well, you've been missing me.
Yeah. You memorized the intro and outro for sure.
Except I tried to do some weird announcer voice.
No, that's fine. Try it again. Let's try it again. We're not cutting this. This is all cutting room floor. Go ahead.
Welcome back to Last Minute Podcast, episode 184. Sponsored by My Pillow. No, it's not. I wish.
Rick Ralph here with My Pillow. You know what's really great? My Pillow.
No. Every single radio DJ in Winnipeg has My Pillow.
Even Blitz?
Radio DJ. Radio.
He's on the radio.
He's not. I don't mean the physical DJ.
Don't say his full name. They'll know. He's summoning him. Don't say it.
No.
Don't say it, Greg.
I won't. A lot of people don't know who DJ Blitz is.
No! You can't say it!
Sorry.
No! Okay, there's a certain guy. He's a disc jockey, and he goes by the nickname Blitz.
No!
And he's a Winnipeg meme, okay?
Yeah.
He's ridiculous. He's such a character. He's very weird. But he rocks it, so that's his thing.
He's not. Well, it's not.
His catchphrase is, "What's up, Winnipeg?"
You know what? And
we're just jealous.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the success that he's been able to achieve by adding people's friends on Facebook consistently for the last 8 years.
He's got 40,000 followers on Twitter. 40,000!
How many people does he follow?
I don't know. I'll go
70,000.
Okay.
No, over under. Under before we do this. 3,500.
Under.
Under, you think?
I'm saying under.
Okay. Either way, we got lots of hockey to talk about, and no more DJs to be mentioned, unless you're talking about Mika Zibanejad.
DJ Zibanejad.
And obviously talking about Mika Zibanejad, the New York Rangers announced, how many does he follow?
I lied. He follows and has way more people than he thought. 115,000 followers?
Okay.
How many is he following?
I'm staying put, 3,500.
Over 3,500.
Okay.
No, is that your guess?
Yeah, over.
117,000 followers? How does he follow? How does he...
How many does he follow?
117,000. What? He's favorited some of my tweets. How does he see them?
117,000 following. Okay.
He's hijacked our show the last 3 minutes.
Yes.
Get away from him.
No, the first 3 minutes. Okay. So, let's talk about Jets. Mark Scheifele returned. They've played 3 games. The Olympics are starting for the men's tomorrow for the Olympics. So, by the time you hear this, probably in a few hours. Jeez, I'm saying I'm a lot. It's been a while.
The Canadian women have already confirmed a spot in the semifinals.
2 straight wins over the Olympic athletes of Russia and...
Finland, maybe?
Yes.
I think.
They played a game today.
It's not that I don't watch women's hockey. It's that the games are at 1:30 in the morning, and that's prime sleep time for me.
Yeah, I like this thing called sleep a lot.
Yeah.
Especially
I haven't seen midnight in a while. Weekdays.
Oh, I still see it, but it's either do I want to be tired at work or watch the women, I'm tired at work and watch the women play.
Or watch women play hockey, and it's not played in a kitchen, am I right? Greg's eyes went huge. I'm just kidding, obviously.
Whoa.
No, they are incredible athletes.
Yes.
My skill level's to a pee-wee hockey player, you'd say? Some of those kids are real good. Yeah. Anyways.
So, talk about the Rangers kind of blowing up their team. Who they're going to keep. I want to know what you think they're going to keep from their core and who they're going to kind of expose, especially with trade deadline approaching. We got some hot takes for hot cakes with a nice side kicking sizzling from our new sponsor this week because they're coming new to Winnipeg. They're a new thing.
Okay.
Wait for it.
Yeah,
it'll be there.
We will.
I'm teasing it.
Yeah.
And then
that's your favorite thing.
The other thing I also want to do is do hypotheticals with Cam.
Okay.
It's not a segment.
It's gonna be.
It's the hypothetical Canada lineup, Canada team that you would have liked to see get iced for the Olympics this year.
Anyways, go ahead.
So I guess let's get started with the Jets, and then we'll move on from there.
Go.
So Mark Scheifele returned on Friday to play against the St. Louis Blues. Then they had New York in town for a Sunday matinee. And then they had the Washington Capitals tonight. So, 3 teams that are all in the playoff hunt now. I did say New York was going to be a team that's kind of blowing it up right now. But focusing on St. Louis, this was a measuring stick game for the Jets. St. Louis was the top of the division, then the Jets kind of overtook them. And then what happened from there was St. Louis faltered a little bit. Now they're surging again. Obviously, they had Tarasenko out with an injury for a while. Steen was out for a little bit. But now it looks like that St. Louis team is right back on track. Did you watch any of this game? I didn't get to see too much of it, but from the post-game comments, the Jets lost 5-2 at home. St. Louis was playing a second, double, or the back end of a back-to-back. And as Paul Maurice put it, and Blake Wheeler put it, they came to our building and played better than us. And they can't have it. It's that simple. It was one of those games where they felt, you just come out slow and things aren't working well, and you're playing against a team that played the night before. So, that fatigue factor is there. But I also feel that part of it is they're just not getting, sometimes they're already in the groove, and it happens, right? And it could just be an early shift that kind of puts you off edge and gets you out of your game for the Jets, whatever it might have been.
I think it was a lack of chemistry. Because Mark Scheifele coming back, obviously top-line superstar Mark Scheifele, he does it all, ladies and gentlemen. And I think him coming back and Nick Patan was a little miffed, did something to his water bottle. Because there can only be one superstar on this team, and it's Nick Patan. It's not Mark Scheifele. It's not. I think they should hashtag free Scheifele and trade him. Now, I have a trade. I didn't want to do this.
This is...
I didn't want to do this.
We're not taking McDonald.
It's not Andrew McDonald. It's a three-way trade. Just take it. Listen out here for a minute. Listen. There's a team.
You know what? There's a way to work. There's a way to know when Cam's serious and when he's not. And this is what would make videotaping great. But we can't with a studio that changes every week.
Or
the way Cam,
video camera.
Well, that too. But the way Cam looked at me there, I'm like, oh, this is Cam's trolling face.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
Well, let me finish my three-way trade.
Okay.
Okay. Now there's another Canadian team in the East.
Yeah.
They have another center. Questionable. He doesn't like his situation right now.
Alex Galchenyuk.
You're right. So the Jets, they send Scheifele to Montreal, Galchenyuk to Winnipeg.
Okay.
Andrew McDonald ends up on the Jets.
How does this work?
Flyers get a first-round pick from someone. I don't know. It's coming from...
Well, you know what? There have been crazier deals,
exactly.
Sergachev.
I need an Andrew McDonald jersey, but I want a Jets one.
Or Nathan Billier.
No. To answer your question though about the Jets in the Blues game, yeah, they just came out flat-footed. That's what it was. And the Blues, although they should have seemed tired, they came out rolling the entire game. From the highlights I've seen, I did see whose goal was it? Tarasenko, almost on the goal line, just straight up, but it was a bad turnover. I don't know. The Jets just seemed a little flat-footed, and yeah, there's no blame to be placed on Mark Scheifele whatsoever.
No,
I would. All the games I wouldn't have brought him back to this one.
No, neither would I.
Because it's the Blues. I don't know, a pretty heavy team.
But it's also, I think you have to look at it and say, bringing Mark Scheifele back, who hasn't played in 6 weeks. It doesn't matter how good of shape you're in. There's a difference between practice and game. You want to throw him in that situation, but I also think that saving him for the Rangers would have been just better overall. I know you want him in there against a divisional opponent. He didn't have his best game, but obviously I'm not going to say that he's off of his game because he came back and played pretty well tonight. And that's where I want to go to next because I want to come back to the Rangers.
Of course.
So they played tonight, and from what I noticed, they were down for most of the game. And then in the third period, surged back, and 2 straight goals, which led to them winning 4-3 over
the Jets tonight.
Yeah, tonight's game. Yeah.
They were down 3-0, came back. Mark
They were down 3-0.
They were down 3-0.
Oh, geez, okay.
Jets came back. Mark Scheifele got the first goal, tying goal with maybe 40 seconds left. And then he had the primary assist on the game winner, which is from Tyler Myers.
And a little bit of vindication for Tyler Myers, who had a goal called back against the New York Rangers on Sunday.
Oh.
Yeah.
He got lit up. Because there was a scramble in front of the net in the Washington game. And Scheifele got hit. And then I think Niskanen just came out of nowhere and just crushed him. Mm-hmm. So I guess he might have been a little jacked up about that.
Yes. I didn't get to see any of the game. I was busy coaching today, so all I know was that they were down.
Coaching the Washington Capitals.
I was not coaching the Washington Capitals.
Messed up.
My team also didn't win, but
That's fine.
it's fine. The worst part about coaching is you can't actually physically do anything to change what's going on out there, and I really would like to. That's why I like playing hockey.
You like to lie about your age?
Man, if I could lie about my age, I'd be one hell of a
You'd be a Dominican baseball player.
I would be. Yeah. That's the plan.
And alienated the entire country.
Yes.
Good job, me.
Yeah, exactly. No, and Washington's a peculiar team because I watched them Sunday while I was hungover, and I watched them play Detroit, and something seems off about them. The other thing too that they mentioned, like think about this team lost TJ. Oh, they didn't lose TJ Oshie. Lost a depth guy like Marcus Johansson, which doesn't seem like a big loss, but that type of being able to fire on all different cylinders with a bunch of different guys does help.
Well,
that depth helps. Now you've got Tom Wilson on the top line with Ovi and Backstrom.
It doesn't seem like that. He's not a top line player.
No. So it's going to be interesting what they do because they have such little cap room.
Well, they just signed Lars Eller, the third line center, who replaced him, to a 5-year extension, 17.5 total, 3.5 average.
That's not bad. You know who could use Lars Eller right now?
I would personally rather have Johansson.
But you're paying Johansson 5.5.
True. Never mind.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Who would rather have Ellers?
Montreal, because they're short on centers right now. And they gave him up. I don't remember for what, but they traded him too.
Montreal's this is an ongoing
a
weird carousel we can't seem to get off.
No. And I want to talk about Washington just because of that. With trade deadline approaching, they're going to add a winger of some sort.
Rick Nash.
Rick Nash is a name that I brought up first. Let me tell everyone.
You did a little while ago.
I brought it up in December. Now he's floating around. He's going everywhere. He's going L.A., San Jose, Dallas, Columbus, Pittsburgh, maybe Washington. I think the Winnipeg train has sailed. I still have a tough time with Washington or with any team giving the Rangers something like a bailout for Rick Nash and being like, oh, here's a second-round pick for Rick Nash or here's a first-round pick. I have a tough time believing a team's going to do that with Nash, especially in division. Maybe an LA King. Obviously, we have to talk about them later, but maybe the LA Kings, maybe San Jose, maybe Dallas, who have some expendable assets that they could get rid of. So I would almost... It'd be tough. If they could find a way to swing Mike Hoffman on their team, he'd be a guy to go for.
The Washington Capitals?
Yeah. Be tough. But here's the problem with the Washington Capitals, is right now, I think their window to win is over at the moment. They need the Brooks Orpik and the Matt Niskanen deals to get off their books. And once those are gone, then they can try to bring some other guys in.
But Ovi's already getting old.
But he's still scoring 30 goals. He's on pace for 50 right now.
I heard a stat that I know one guy. It's Ovechkin, Gretzky, and someone else.
Yeah.
They're the only...
Mike Bossy.
Yeah. The only guys with... Ovi at the end of this year will reach, if he hits 50, will be his 8th season with 50 goals.
And Mike Bossy did it 9 straight years.
Yeah.
And Gretzky did it 10, I believe.
Gretzky did 10 times, correct?
Yeah, 10 times. But Mike Bossy did it 9 straight years.
And then he retired.
That's 450 goals.
I did it once.
I did not.
NHL EA Sports.
Oh, there you go. Good for you.
Rookie.
But
settings turned down.
I think regardless of everything, I want to see Ovi play as long as possible. Everyone talked about how his body wasn't going to hold up to the style of play he was playing, and I've mentioned this before. He still looks strong. He's keeping it up. And I wouldn't be surprised if he plays till he's 45. Pulls the younger.
How old is he right now?
32.
Another 13 years?
Why not?
I give him to 40. I give him 8.
I honestly believe if there is a player that can do it, he's the one that can beat Gretzky's goal record. Because he's at 587, I think, right now for career goals. So he's almost at 600. Nobody else from his draft year, or nobody else since 05-06 is at 500. And he's already at 600.
Crosby just hit 400.
And he's number 2.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's almost 200 goals ahead of the nearest guy. Nice.
Yeah. If that's not crazy, another guy that's got to be up there is Phil Kessel. But I think he's only played like 8 years, has 30. Like, that's the crazy thing is if you have 30 goals over 10 years, you only get 300 goals. Like, 500 goals is a milestone. Regardless, I don't want to get into that. But Ovi's at 600. I think the record's at 934 or something like that. I could be off.
But he's got to keep that pace up for another 10 years.
10 years, 30 goals a year. He can do it. I believe in him. I honestly do. I think if there is a record that can be broken that Gretzky set, it is the goals record. And I think the only possible person is Alex Ovechkin. Because, is there wood in this room? Knock on wood.
That's real, too. It's real, not fake wood.
He hasn't had a serious injury in his entirety of his career. And if on it, honestly, I'm just saying. Durability, man. Like, and you look at him, he doesn't have the ripped six-pack, the chiseled body. He's got a Russian body. He's got a little bit extra beat. Yeah, he's got dad bod. But he's one of the best players.
He enjoys his halakchi.
Except for the fact that his hair is just a musky bit of salt and pepper. He's got some salt and pepper in there.
I would love to see him in a Jester Man commercial.
Oh,
I would love it.
But he's too all natural for that.
No, 100%, exactly.
So I'm intrigued to see what the Capitals do. Kind of bring it back. I'm intrigued to see what the Capitals do, but overall, I think Ovechkin's season, and I think where the Capitals are going, is they're still going to be a threat. They're just not going to get out of the second round.
I don't know if they're going to get out of the first.
Well, right now
who's first in the East?
They're first in their Tampa's first in the East, so they're going to get
Philly.
They're
getting swept. Sorry, buddy. Dream season over. Travis Konechny scored again tonight. Oh, Sean Couturier, 27 goals. Line who? Voracek has 58 assists on the season.
I'm not gonna warrant what you're saying with the response.
You gotta be careful.
No, it's fine. Whatever.
They're the underdogs.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Philly.
No.
Underdogs.
Yeah, underdogs?
Underdogs.
Yes. Okay, fair enough.
Who's that guy? Who's the center for Philadelphia?
Which one?
Jason Kelsey. The guy who did the speech. He's like, oh, we're underdogs. Yeah. No one believes in us.
I'm just not going to warrant anything. I'm not warranting anything with a response.
I just want to say, Philadelphia sports haven't lost a game, basketball or hockey, since Philadelphia.
Are you serious?
Neither team has lost. Yeah, 5-0 for the Fly Guys.
Did the Flyers have their bye week during that time?
They did not. They did not. Okay. But they did lose their starting goalie for 5 to 6 weeks, so that's delicious.
They've got Carter Hart.
Actually, speaking of weird stat about Carter Hart, he tied the WHL record all time, 26 shutouts. And with that, he also tied, in that same game, he tied franchise wins overall with Leland Irving, 107 wins.
Wow.
They got about 30 games left in that season. Guess what Carter Hart's doing? Setting both records. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Carter Hart's going to look great for Montreal when they trade him.
Now moving on to the New York Rangers game.
Go.
The Rangers and the Jets had a matinee Sunday. And the reason why I want to talk about this game next is obviously Rangers came out and said that they're basically wholesaling their team. They're going to keep the young pieces. So we'll dissect the game first and then move into the Rangers. Just because really, the Jets are the Jets. Blake Wheeler is one of the best players in the league and gets no his points, man. Like, you look at it.
He has to lead the league. And as I mentioned last podcast, until Patrick Laine outscores everyone in the NHL, he's playmaker Patrick Laine to me.
Okay, fair enough.
He's an earnest sniper status.
I like just the way Blake Wheeler played without Mark Scheifele. Like, if Blake Wheeler's not in the Art Ross conversation, I'd be very surprised. Regardless. Rangers, Jets. Jets came out with an early 1-0 lead. Weak goal goes by Connor Hellebuyck towards the end of the first. And, like, the Jets dominated the first period. Like, they could have been up 3-4, 4-1. But, obviously, the Rangers holding on by the skin of their teeth. Come back. They score that week one against Hellebuyck. And then play a bad second period, escape that period. And then just couldn't get really any bounces. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, Myers got a goal, but that was called back. And then the Jets got another one that was waved off for a high stick from Mark Scheifele. I believe it was Scheifele that tipped it. It was pretty obvious. It was pretty obviously high stuck.
Did he do his classic Scheifele? What? The face. How can you call that back? Come on, ref.
No,
the world's out to
but
get me.
My goodness, did Paul Maurice just... Paul Maurice is so animated and it's great. He is what I want to be as a coach. Just like, you can tell exactly what he's saying.
Animated and never gets a call from the refs?
Yeah.
That's a good coach.
Yeah, that's a good coach.
You gotta have a reserved coach.
Like Mike
Dave
Babcock?
Hackstone.
Like Mike Babcock?
Mike that back clock? Yes.
I think we got to talk about Leafs at some point. But regardless.
Oh, we're definitely talking about the Leafs.
Okay. Just because I haven't been able to gush about some players in a while.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It looks so good.
They're so good.
Actually, I just realized this today.
Yeah.
The Winnipeg Jets, even when like Blake Wheeler's having an incredible season and all this, the Jets are... TSN is Senpai. They can't get noticed by Senpai. All they want to do is get noticed by Senpai. Senpai's never going to notice
It doesn't matter how good their season is. It doesn't matter how much... Like, I recently bought a new car.
Yeah.
You have satellite radio.
How's the mileage on it?
It's fantastic.
Good. Perfect.
I recently got satellite radio in that car.
Okay.
Because it came free with the vehicle.
Oh, wow. Look at this guy.
And I've been listening to the radio. And on Saturday, it was on NHL Network, but they were talking about... These guys from the fourth period, they were talking about the Jets and the Blues and kind of the whole Central Division. It's crazy to hear American radio talk about the Jets more than Canadian television does. And I'm not saying that as, the classic Winnipeg, like, oh, we just get forgotten and everything. It is very odd to see the lack of coverage for Winnipeg, considering the fact that we are a fan base that kind of has migrated around the country. Because you think most Winnipeggers that were born in Winnipeg, let's say the cutoff age is like born in 92. Most people, let's say born in 1990.
You're 25, how about that?
Yeah, 25. Okay, fair enough. If you're 25 and older, most likely your team is the Jets. No matter where you are, most likely. Like, obviously it's not for me because I was such a big fan. But you look at older people, anyone, I'd say 30 or over. 30 or over, most of them, if not, I would say probably 80 to 85%, doesn't matter where they are, the Jets are their team. So they want to know more about them. The crazy thing is that you look at the coverage and the bias that TSN has. Edmonton's having a dog shit season. Nothing really to talk about there, but we still got to talk about them because of Connor McDavid. Montreal, shithole season. Still got to talk about them because of Carey Price.
Or if PK comes to town.
Calgary Flames. We don't really need to talk about them. They're not doing much. Vancouver Canucks. Brock Besser's having a season. We've got to talk about him. Doesn't matter how good Winnipeg is. They are going to be 4th or 5th on that pecking chart, especially with all the other storylines. The only team right now that doesn't have a storyline that I think supersedes them is the Calgary Flames. Everybody else, you can have airtime on that and you're going to get more hits. Just because of there's more to be said than, the Jets are good and this is what their fan base wanted. This is what their fan base expected. And no one is really surprised at the end of the day that they've surged. I'm surprised they're doing as well as they are, but they should have been able to do this with the talent they have. So you look at it, you have Toronto having a great season with all these rookies. They're going to get mentioned no matter what, right? You got...
Who are the rookies on Toronto?
Sorry, with the sophomores on Toronto.
Okay.
Sorry, the sophomores.
No, that's fine.
Kasperi Kapanen.
There you go.
Travis Dermott.
Justin Hall.
But it's disappointing to see, but at the same time, I think Winnipeg just needs to realize that once playoffs come around, they're going to be the story, especially because they are Canada's best chance at the Cup.
If they win I was making a joke about this earlier.
Yeah.
If they win the Stanley Cup, they might not still open the show at TSN because the Toronto Argonauts might actually have a game that day.
That's true.
Or the Blue Jays might have.
Might have it.
Yeah.
They won't open it with it ever. I don't think Winnipeg... Like, you think Philly would be bad? Like with how crazy they went with the Super Bowl? If Winnipeg wins the Stanley Cup, our city doesn't wake up the next day. We had a parade for our team getting announced. People left work just to watch a press conference.
I had my TV on like 80% volume. I had it on speakerphone to a friend who was on a golf course.
There you go.
He couldn't get it on his phone.
Yeah.
He's like, my reception's not working. Put it on speakerphone. So I just put it to 80% and I put it live streamed via audio to him.
Yeah,
on
exactly.
the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah. We were very jacked up about that.
No, and that's the thing. Like, it still wasn't the first news of TSN. I don't think that day. I'm just kidding. Probably
I
was.
don't know.
But regardless,
it was during a golf tournament, so I honestly don't think it was.
Regardless, it was really fantastic. Essentially, where I'm going with it is Winnipeg has something to be excited about, even if people aren't realizing it. I think the players in the NHL are realizing it, which means they are going to be a trade target. Which brings us back to the New York Rangers, who are now blowing it up. If you are... Who's the GM there right now?
Glenn Sather?
Is it Glenn Sather, or is he president?
I don't know.
Okay.
Someone's there.
They have a guy that is managing this team. Who are you keeping? Let's say you have to keep 2 forwards, a defense, and a goalie. Who are they?
That's a great question. I don't think I can name it, all of those guys on the Rangers.
Okay.
But let me give it a go. Goalie, we're not picking Pavlik, so you have to go Lundqvist.
Yeah.
Defense, not Brendan Smith that they're trying to... Hold on, I have the stat.
They moved him down.
Moved him. He cleared waivers. They just signed him to a 4-year, $17.4 million deal this summer.
Yeah. Right-handed defenseman, man. They got a premium.
Wade Redden. Their defenseman. Oh no, Brady Shea.
Yeah, I think Brady Shea has to be the guy.
Forward.
Jimmy Vesey.
Yeah.
And then the other guy that I was kind of...
JT Miller?
Yeah. I think you got to go JT Miller there. And then you can... The problem is they don't have... The other guy that I was kind of throwing around in my head was DJ Spinbad, just because he's center.
Yeah.
Which then gets me into some other ideas. What if... Now, this is a big what if. The Rangers and the Canadians have a little chat. And they're like, well, we have this guy named Mika Zibanejad. We know your history with Alex Galchenyuk. That you guys don't need him. We'll take him off your hands. Zibanejad, Galchenyuk. There might be some picks and some prospects in there, but I think it could work out for both teams. And then now you have the guy. You could essentially have a line with VC, JT Miller. Is JT Miller center or wing? I have a feeling he's a winger.
I want to say winger.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. If Matt was here, he would tell us. I would have Galchenyuk number 1 center. That's your number 1 line. I think that could be a trade that would work.
Wait, you can't... Why would you have 3 wingers on the line? That doesn't make much sense.
Galchenyuk is a fucking center.
I don't think he's a center.
Okay, well, then you go and you write for the Montreal Gazette.
Actually, I am a writer.
Oh, are you? You're published now? So you're going to shit on PK Subban then?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he came in. Yeah. Well, he donates $10 million to Children's Hospital just for him. That was him.
It was all about him. It was all about him so he could get the name on that wing. Mm-hmm. It was just to feed his own ego.
Yeah. And you know what? I heard he didn't like it that much. He wanted to pull the money out because he only gained like 10,000 Twitter followers that day when he did that. Right?
Only? Oh, man. His
Montreal
life...
is such a load of shit.
Regardless. Back on track.
No, yeah.
Rangers. Mika Zibanejad's a guy in play that I think teams that needed another guy at center... LA, San Jose, Dallas to help their depth out. Mika Zibanejad's in play. Rick Nash, once again, I go to those southern western teams. Look at a guy like him. Anaheim might work if they can fit it under their cap. The one X factor is I'm curious to see what Calgary does. The one guy that I think we gotta watch closely, especially as Winnipeg Jets fans, Michael Grabner. It makes too much sense for him to come here. That it's one of those things. This team is playing so well right now. He was a part of a Calder Cup run with the Manitoba Moose. He knows the organization. He knows the fans. He knows the city. Why would you not want to come here? And the great thing is with the Jets.
Him doing
I know it's not him saying no. What would prevent him from coming here? What would prevent the Jets from going after that? Because if I'm looking at the deadline deal, I'm looking at Michael Grabner, and as one of my friends pointed out yesterday, you've got an abundance of guys in the AHL that are just waiting for that chance. Chase DeLeo, Nick Patan. Mason Appleton. There's guys there.
First one off the top of my head would be Nick Batan.
Yeah. Why not? It's not.
But do the Rangers want that? Is he on an expiring contract?
He is.
Oh.
So here's the thing: you get him, and then if it works out, great. You can re-sign him at the end of the year. Do sort of what you did with Drew Stafford. It'd work out good for them. It's a rental player that you don't need to commit to, but he's a penalty killer.
Is he a left winger? Right winger.
Oh God.
No, because I'm just saying.
I think he's left-handed.
If you want to have some.
I think he's left-handed, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, that speed would be unbelievable. But it's the penalty killing. It's the depth, because right now one of the things that's hurting the Jets is no Lowry, no Tanev. They're two of their biggest penalty killers. It just provides you with more depth and more options, especially since like they have other guys right now like Sean Mathias who can't get in the lineup, but there's enough guys that they have to fill those talent spots that bringing Michael Grabner in is only going to help them. And especially a guy that's played has the games under his belt. I think Michael Grabner is a guy I'd target, especially if I'm the Jets.
To answer your question, what's the one thing holding him back? I heard Joel Armia is a real hard ass with his number. And he's like, you bring him in, he's not getting.
He can wear 41.
No, Joel's not.
What did Grabner wear with the Moose?
40.
Did he wear 40?
Pretty sure. 40. That's the one.
Okay, well, it'll be a rock, paper, scissors wrestling match.
Tables out of chairs match?
Tables out of
No,
chairs?
we can't. That'll be breaking CBA rules to NHLPA.
Shit. Chocolate pudding match.
Yeah, it's too dangerous for like. Damn it. A lot of injuries actually happen in those
Soap.
matches. That's worse than pudding.
Damn it. Bubbles.
I got it.
Okay.
Fastest lap.
Ooh. Grabner wins that.
Well, yeah, I'm on Team
Yeah,
Grabner.
I'm on Team Grabner.
I want
too.
Joel Armia to chase.
Yeah.
I do not like the number 40. Anyways, it's too perfect of a match. Let's see if it actually.
I think it has to. It has to be in their minds.
We have two,
especially with watching them.
We have one podcast next week. We'll have one podcast, and then the following podcast will be after trade deadline. So we literally only have one left.
Yeah.
So hopefully some trades start rolling in, and it'll be beautiful.
One did roll in today, and what was it?
Oh yeah, right. Hold on.
Dion Phaneuf was sent to the LA Kings for Marion Gaborik.
Well, it was Dion Phaneuf and Nate Thompson for Marion Gaborik and Drew Shore. So basically, Gaborik has 3 more years left at $4.875 million, and Phaneuf has 3 years left at $7 million. But Ottawa's retaining 25% of the Phaneuf contract.
Jeez, okay.
So what's 25% of 7?
Oh, that's tough.
2?
No.
1.85?
Yeah.
Something like that. And with this move, Ottawa clears
1.75.
With
1.75.
Once it goes clear,
yeah,
this clears up $4 million in cap space for Ottawa. Which is they're just trying to clear cap space because they got to sign Erik Karlsson. They're not going to have a team anymore.
I think part of it is to sign Erik Karlsson, but it could also be to take on contracts, expiring contracts with a lot of money to get some prospects. Because I think that's what rebuilding teams have to do. I'm not saying they need to do a total rebuild in Ottawa. I think they just need to retool. And hopefully not training my way Hoffman, but they might have to. The other guy to think about it now that would also work in Washington would be Max Pacioretty. He'd work well there. Especially with the contract he's on. I think they can maybe make it work.
But what is Montreal going to... Because Montreal... I've seen
First rounder.
The pieces GMs are asking for is incredible.
Prices are too high right now.
Do you see Derek Brassard? What they're asking for Derek Brassard?
What is it? A player?
It's a top 6, a first rounder, and a A to B level prospect.
Derek Brassard's not. Derek Brassard himself is a top 6 center, and that's it.
No, I know, but they're asking.
I know. Yeah, the asking price is too high. This might set it where it needs to be. The Phaneuf deal, the Phaneuf trade, just because it now. At least I hope it can set the market now, but we won't know more until more trades start rolling in. And that was one of the things I noticed. I was watching TSN, and they're saying how trade market right now is just too high. So it'll be interesting to see. It always regulates itself, because GMs want to make these deals. So they're gauging the market right now for the interest, like the Evander Kane situation where. I don't know, but as of Saturday, in his last 17 games, had 1 goal, 1 assist. They're still asking for top 3 or top 6 player picks and a prospect. that has to have dropped by now.
Well, especially
Picks
now, Jack Eichel's out 4 to 6 weeks with a high ankle sprain. So if they want any return, they're going to have to kind of hold back and be like, hey, do you want anything? Like, if not, it's not bad to hold on to him. But it
is, though, because you're essentially going to lose him at the beginning of the year for nothing, where you can get a second rounder or you can get a third rounder for him. You're not making the playoffs. What's wrong with throwing somebody a bone and just being like, hey, whatever, we'll get rid of him for something? Because if you hold on to him and you lose him for nothing, it's going to hurt the team in the long run.
Oh, one more thing on the Ottawa. Pierre Dorian got an extension, and the president, Tom Anselmi, left on the same day that extension got announced. So basically what Ottawa's doing is saying, we're fully committing to the rebuild and like drafting and everything. So that's another reason to why they're trying to shed cap and basically just harvest prospects at this point, because they're just accepting that. I guess they've accepted that their window's closing, even though their best player is, 27, 28? Yeah.
The thing is they need to figure out what they're doing in net, which is hilarious, because a few years ago we were talking about how deep they were, with Hammond signing O'Connor, who still hasn't seen NHL time, and having Craig Anderson. So they've just got to figure out what their identity is going to be moving forward. And last year, like we all know, they were a goal away from the Stanley Cup final. None of us really thought they were deserving of being there. They just had a run that everything clicked. And Erik Karlsson looked like the best player on the planet. So you look at it right now, I don't think they need to go full-fledged rebuild. They need to retool. They need to take a step back and maybe have a season like this. Have sort of what the Montreal Canadiens had when they got Alex Galchenyuk. You need that bad season to push forward, get some assets, and then develop those assets for the next wave. Because I still think they have talent there. They just need to figure out how to properly get the most out of them. And I think Guy Boucher is the guy to be there. I don't think that they should move him. So it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. But I want to move on now to gushing about the Toronto Maple Leafs for the next 5 minutes.
That's fair.
So Toronto has had quite the record recently. They look like unstoppable. Not unstoppable. They look like a very good team now. They're finally rolling. A team that looked like they really have... In all reality, you might as well put an X beside their name, Boston's name, and Tampa's name. No one's going to catch them in the Atlantic. So that's a safe position they're in. My worry right now, and this is the thing about Toronto, is I've been super happy with the way Travis Dermott's played. I'm super happy with the way Kasperi Kapanen's played. Everybody, the lineup decisions they're making right now make sense, except Polak playing every other night. Still don't think he's quite an NHL player anymore, but regardless of that, they're making the right moves right now, and they're playing good hockey, and I would be shocked if Frederik Andersen is not in the Vezina nominee list come June, unless something drastic happens. The way he's played since last week of October to now, he is this team's MVP. He is their best player. He's the guy right now that is allowing them to win the games they're winning. And when McElhinney comes in, he's been stellar as well. It's going to be... The crazy thing about them is you want to talk about depth in net. They have Garrett Sparks, who I think is the all-time Marlies win leader for goalies now. I think he's... I'm going to be so wrong with this stat, but I heard it the other day. 107 wins in 150 games or something like that in the AHL.
But that's also on... He's a fantastic goalie, but that's also on... Toronto Marlies have, in the last 3 years, have put up historically good numbers in the AHL.
Very true. But you look at his numbers this year, they're cartoonish. They're like 940, like a below 2 goals against average. He's having a year. Callum Picard's having a year. So they're solid in net. So it'll be interesting to see where they move from there. But I'm very happy to see the team rolling the way they are. It's just going to be tough because they got Tampa and Boston to battle with, and whoever they end up playing in the first round, that is going to be must-see hockey. Because if it's Boston, you're going to see old stuff. I think you're going to see young up-and-comers like Charlie McAvoy, Jake DeBrusk, really kind of take center stage in that aspect, playing against the younger guys. And then you just get a veteranism of Patrice Bergeron, Brad Marchand, Tuukka Rask. Like, I think Boston beats Toronto, no doubt in my mind about that. But Tampa-Toronto is the real series I want. Watch the game last night. That is the series I want. 100%.
So you think Boston will beat Toronto, though?
I think the way the teams are built right now, just based on what I saw last 2 weeks ago, I think Boston, right now, the way they're just playing really well. But I think they're the better team. They're just more experienced, especially when it comes to playoffs. And then you look down at Tampa, and I think that would be an exciting series. What I saw yesterday was two teams that are just speed, shot, star. They're great. They're deep. So it'll be interesting to see. The biggest question now that rests on Toronto is what they're going to do with Nikita Soshnikov and Josh Levo, who are both, Nikita Soshnikov right now is on the IR. For those that don't know what happened, Nikita Soshnikov he had a stipulation in his contract that said if he was not called up to the NHL by, I think it was November 10th, he would be able to essentially leave and go play in the KHL. So the Leafs brought him up on November 9th, I believe it was, or it was December 9th, one or the other. It was one of those 2 days, or around that timeline. They brought him up, he played, he got hurt with a concussion. So the last 2 weeks he was on a conditioning stint with the Marlies, had 5 points in 5 games. Then, because the doctors did not clear him to play for the Leafs, was put back on IR. I think this was to give the team time to figure out what their plan is, because they either have to send down Kasperi Kapanen, they either have to trade or waive Nikita Soshnikov, which means someone's going to pick him up, or waive or trade Josh Levo. The other option is sending down Matt Martin, which I don't think they want to do. Maybe someone picks him up, but I don't think so. They're really trying hard to trade him right now. There's just no takers. And I still think they could benefit from finding a fourth line center. I don't know who right now is available out there, but they could, as much as I like Dominic Moore, I think going out there and trying to find another guy wouldn't be the worst thing, just to help the depth, especially down the middle, where I think they do lack a little bit. I don't think Frederick Gauthier, let's say Dominic Moore goes down, I don't think he's the answer at the fourth line. So there is still worry there, but I'm so happy. Like, the ride that I've been on with that team has just been incredible.
Mitch Marner hit 100 points the other day.
That's good for him. After Saturday night's game, Mitch Marner and William Nylander had the exact same amount of points for the season.
Goals and assists.
Yeah. So,
I was going to ask you, what do you think about the Stadium Series jerseys?
Love them.
They're a lot of white.
They're a lot of white, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
I'm going to probably buy one, I think.
Who are you getting? Roman Polak.
Yes.
If you get Polak, I'll go
I already know who I'm getting.
I'll pay for the customizing.
Take a guess who I'm getting.
Mitchie Marner. Morgan Rahman.
No.
Will Nice scoring guy.
No.
Aussie Matthew.
No.
What? Hold on. Let me keep going. Nikita Zaitsev.
There's 2 players that I have in my head that I really want.
Don't get Zaitsev. He's getting traded.
I'm not getting Zaitsev.
You know he's getting traded.
I don't think he's getting traded.
I
but
think he's getting traded.
Okay. 2 guys. Either Connor Brown or Travis Dermott. The problem, though, with
Travis Dermott's going to change his number.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what I'm concerned about.
Don't do that.
Did you know the Travis Dermott thing? That when Justin Holl came, they're just like, and we're taking your number, and we're going to give you 23, and give Holl.
What's up with that?
I don't know.
That was a Lamoriello thing for sure.
Oh, it's definitely a Lamoriello thing.
Why did they honor
Lamoriello's.
Let the kids have fun. I want to see Marner in 93, and we all know it. Oh, wait, we can't see him wear 93. My bad. We've been over this.
Yeah, you can't wear 93.
I want to see Nylander wear 92.
I do, too.
Let them have fun. Let the kids have fun.
I don't know. You know what?
Like that too.
The worst part, too, is like there's going to be a day where Matthews is going to have to change his number because they're going to retire James Reimer's numbers.
You know he's already clearly surpassed James Reimer.
I know. It's great. It's great. Okay. Moving on now to the Olympics with men's hockey starting tomorrow. Or this morning, I guess. Give me your Team Canada lineup.
Well, first off,
if they made the Olympics.
Okay, hold on. I'll name the actual captains and assistants.
Okay.
Captain Chris Kelly. Assistants Chris Bork, Andrew Ebbett, Chris Lee, and Derek Roy. Now, I'm naming the entire, if the NHL were there. God damn.
Who are your forwards?
Who are your forwards?
Who are your D? Okay. Goaltending, I think, is easy. I think you do Price, Holtby,
Matt Murray. Because he's a torch holder. He's going to be the next guy in line. Who do you got? Who's your third? Corey Crawford?
Not Corey Crawford.
Flip this table.
I would flip the table as well.
Okay.
Trying to think. What?
Fleury? Yeah, because
I think you got to give it to Fleury. I think Fleury's got to be up there.
I guess, you know what, as a third, yeah, I'm okay with Fleury. I go Murray.
I'm trying to think who else there is right now. I'm just trying to go through it in my head.
Yeah, this one has sprung on me. I got to think of it.
But definitely Holtby. Defensively, I think it's no doubt. You have Petro there. You have Doughty there. You have Subban there.
So you don't have Brent Burns if you have Pete.
You have Brent Burns as well.
You have Brent Burns as well.
Then the lefties is where it gets a little bit more tricky. I think.
Duncan Keith? Come on.
I think you have to have him there for pedigree.
Okay.
You have Keith there. I think you have Morgan Riley there.
You're out of your mind if you think Morgan Riley's on that team.
Oh, yeah.
Morgan Riley's...
Okay.
Come
on. Gets consideration.
You take Weber over Riley. You have to.
But that's 5 right-handed shots then. Oh, no, Petro's left. Never mind. Sorry. No, Petro's right.
I'm just writing...
What hand is Petro? He's right.
He's
right-handed. He's right-handed.
He's a right-handed.
He's right-handed.
Okay.
So that's 5 right-handed defensemen. Do you want that many right-handed defensemen?
Oh, Vlasic.
Sure. Really?
Definitely. Vlasic gets a nod before Riley does. I trust him more defensively. You don't need him. You don't need Riley to score. You're looking for a defensive player at this point, and it's Vlasic.
Fine. No, you're right.
Is this our hypotheticals?
Right. This is our hypotheticals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's our 7th? Okay, wait. Who have we decided? We got Petro, Doughty, PK, Brent Burns, Duncan Keith, Vlasic, Weber. That's what we're going with?
Fine. Weber's too slow, but that's fine. Yeah, sure.
Did you take Ekblad?
That's the another right-handed, though.
Okay, name left-handed D then.
It's hard. There's not a lot.
Left-handed D?
J. Bowmeister.
I got a left-handed D.
No,
it's not Andrew. It's not. I swear to God. It's not Andrew McDonald, and he's right here in Winnipeg.
Josh Morrissey?
Dude, come on.
Then Morgan Riley has to be there.
Why?
I take Morgan Riley over Josh Morrissey. But that's a good one. It's a good one. I'll give you that.
He's a lefty. Is Riley a lefty?
Yeah, Riley's a lefty.
Okay, who's the lefties on this team?
Well, I think Burns can play opposite side. I think Subban can play opposite side.
Babcock. He takes even numbers always.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he's clearly the coach.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, maybe Gerard Gallant. We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
He's a trash coach according to Florida. So.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to think of other left-handed defensemen that are from Canada.
There's no Canadian. I think McDonald's the actual only Canadian D, but I'm not taking on Team Canada.
I'm not taking him either. No.
He's a righty again.
Who?
Letang.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
Do you want 6 right D? Yeah, you could take him, but no.
Well, it doesn't matter if you outscore everyone 8-0.
Unless Petro is left-handed. Damn it.
Go to the internet real quick.
I will go to the internet.
Okay, you got it?
Okay. Name your forwards.
There's so many.
I think you have to go Crosby, Bergeron, Marchand. Then you have to have Johnny T, Connor McDavid.
Who's Johnny T?
John Tavares.
Oh. Okay.
Connor McDavid and
Steven
Stamkos. Your third line can be John Tavares or Jonathan Taves. Sorry. Ryan Getzlaf.
You get Perry to not do that?
No, I don't.
You know who's pretty good at?
Mitch Marner.
Screw you!
I'm kidding.
You son of a bitch.
I'm kidding. He's not good enough.
Pretty good at playing a grinder role and a pest who can also score. The Ginger Jesus.
Yeah, that's another guy I put there for sure.
Giroux.
And that's the beauty of it is they'd have enough guys that can pretty much play any side. They could have.
Okay, fourth line. McKinnon.
He's hurt right now though.
Everyone's healthy.
Okay. Yeah, McKinnon's there.
Okay, does that mean Scheifele's there?
I think Scheifele's there, yeah.
Okay. We need one more spot then. 2 more.
He is right-handed. Petro is right-handed. I can tell by the stance here.
Okay. McKinnon, Scheifele.
He's only making $5 million?
Who's that extra guy? He signed a great contract.
McKinnon, Scheifele, and then who's the other guy on the fourth line?
I wouldn't say. I mean, we're just naming guys. I wouldn't put this as my fourth line, but
Who's your other
McKinnon,
guy?
Scheifele.
Oh, McKinnon, Scheifele. Oh, for fuck's sakes! How do we forget Ben and Sagan?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! Ben, Sagan. Yep.
That's the team.
That's a pretty good team. It's nuts about.
That's
You see what Ovi said today?
Yeah.
Dan Drager's interviewing him. They're like, "Oh, you gonna watch any of the Olympics?" He's like, "No." They're like, "Not even hockey." He's like, "Well, maybe hockey." Well, I don't know. Thanks, Batman.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he walked away.
Yeah.
Laughing, of course.
I had to laugh. Yeah. And that's
Logan
the line.
Couture we're forgetting about.
Yeah, but you look at everybody else on that list.
Wayne Simmons.
No.
Could be he's fast.
I'm sorry, but one of Babcock's favorite things is to have centermen that can play on the wing.
So you're gonna have a tough time getting a non-centerman on that team.
The only one that's there is Brad Marchand.
That's
the only one we named.
Yep, I'm looking at this list right now.
And really,
Ben.
who else? Who are you leaving? Oh, Ben. But Ben did play center earlier on in his career.
Yeah, he's fantastic.
So, okay. You look at that. That team wins gold. Like, that team sleepwalks to gold. I think again. Right?
I have a tough time believing anyone would say.
The
They
only-
can play any game. They can beat you on the scoreboard.
Yeah.
They can beat you up. It doesn't matter.
So-
They're faster than you. They're better than you. It's
The
not,
point I was trying to make with this exercise is that it is better off the way it is because we don't know who's going to win.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because this is too dominant of a team that the expectation is if you don't win gold, there's no way you couldn't. Like, you look at Sweden, they're getting old. They have William Nylander on that team. They'd have Alex Nylander on that team.
Their decor is incredible.
Okay. Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Erik Karlsson, Rasmus Dahlin, Timothy Liljegren.
That's a stretch to think he'll be there.
Why wouldn't he? Who else is
Okay, hold
Swedish?
on. Okay, we got Hedman, Karlsson, Ekman-Larsson, Dahlin. I feel like we're missing a heavy hitter here.
What? Alex?
No, not literally a heavy hitter.
Oh.
Like a D. Like someone who's...
I think Timothy Liljegren has to be there. But that's the thing, is you would end up where all those guys, except for McDavid, have played 5+ years in the NHL. With Sweden, with Russia, with Finland, you're getting guys that haven't been there as long. Like, don't get me wrong, it'd be a fun year.
You'd have reunite the Puljujärvi Aho line line.
Exactly. You'd have that line. You'd have Matthews, Eichel, Kachuk.
You wouldn't take
DeBrincat. You wouldn't take.
You'd take I'd consider DeBrincat.
Yeah.
Filthy Phil Kessel.
No, he'd still get left off the team. Let's be real.
Yeah, he'd have something better to do, but he couldn't put his foot.
Yeah, couldn't put his finger on it.
Yeah.
So that's I think that's the fun game you need to play. Is you need to look at that roster, what it could be, and say, really, do we need to?
So they start tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning, Canada plays their first game.
What time are they talking?
7:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not
Winnipeg
so
time.
bad.
Yeah, Winnipeg time.
I hope that's on
9 o'clock at night there, I believe.
I hope it's on the radio.
It'll be on the television. Just stream it to your phone.
You know how much data that is? I don't have unlimited.
You're around dealerships all day. Just take their Wi-Fi. It's all free.
I could, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, figure it out. Okay. Hot takes for hot cakes. Sponsored by.
If they're
Because they're spicy, and we're really going for a stretch this week. But Popeyes is coming to Winnipeg.
Shut up!
So Popeyes has decided to sponsor the hot takes for hot cakes. Because their chicken is the hottest, freshest, and best in the city.
They're actually coming?
Apparently, rumor has it.
Don't rumor me.
I'm not rumoring you. That's what the rumor is right now.
You're rumoring me with a rumor.
But IHOP was a rumor. IHOP, by the way, going into the Same-Tail Center.
Oh, wow.
Where Moxie's is.
Who knew?
So,
what's this hot take?
they're all traits.
Is it brought to you by Popeyes Louisiana Kickin' Chicken? That
Kickin'
I see every time I watch
chicken.
a Leafs game on Game Center. Every single time.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have 3 trades in my head.
Okay.
And where these players are going to end up. So these are the 3 hot takes. These are your 3 pieces of chicken, your 3 stacks of...
I'll supply the side options.
Oh, will you?
Yeah, one of them's for sure the green beans. The other one's the delicious macaroni and cheese.
Okay.
Although Popeyes has crinkle cut fries off the chain. I've had it once.
Okay. So, hot take. Player getting traded, number 1. Rick Nash going back to the Columbus Blue Jackets. Because why not?
That's a spicy meatball.
That is a spicy
We're
meatball.
going down the street to the Italian place right now. All right, bring it back. What kind of chicken we got? I want this spicy chicken.
The next one. Evander Kane. Going to the San Jose Sharks.
All right.
Seems plausible.
Yep.
Would work, help their depth out a little bit. Gets out of the spotlight a little bit more. And a team that's been successful. Next one. Max Pacioretty. I did mention earlier he was going to become a Washington Capital. But have another team on my mind. Minnesota.
What do you think Minnesota would be willing to give up to get that?
I'm not sure.
No?
Not sure.
Okay.
And then honorable mentions.
These are the sides.
These are the sides. These are honorable mentions
Okay.
to teams that need some depth. St. Louis needs a center. They could look at either Mark Letestu from Edmonton or Boone Jenner. Those would be my sides there.
Okay.
Yeah. Thomas Plekanec could also end up in St. Louis as well. Okay. The two other people that I want to ask you about are two big names on this list. Galchenyuk's on this list, for crying out loud. Okay. Two big names. Mike Hoffman. Damn. Holy shit. Jeff Skinner's on here. Okay, I'm not going to... Jeff Skinner doesn't count. Holy shit, I just thought of something.
Go, let me have
Think of the USD. Jacob Slavin, Noah Hannafin. That's where it stops. Okay, never mind.
Jacob Slavin, Noah Hannafin, John Carlson.
What do you love?
Brady Shea.
Brady Shea. Yeah, they'd have a good one.
Hold on, we can name the rest of them. We got 3 more.
Ryan McDonough.
Oh!
McDonough's on there.
Now you see me, now you don't. The Ghost Man.
Who?
The Ghost Man. Ghost Bear.
Oh, Ghost
There's
Ghost
no
Bear.
way he's like that deep.
Okay.
No way.
Okay, we'll go 3 guys.
Russia would have.
Okay.
Trans-Siberian.
Jeff Skinner. Do you see him getting dealt, and where?
No, that's a
That's
a
stretch.
draft day trade. But if he is traded, man,
I would say Florida.
there's not even a. You can say that team's not
Draft
popping
day.
in my head.
Draft
No,
day.
but like
It
no,
has to
I'm
be.
just trying to think of a team.
Arizona. Vancouver.
Nah. Vancouver would be sweet.
Vancouver work. We could talk to Jimmy B about that one day.
But then wouldn't have a jersey number. Jeffy would have to change the number.
But here's the thing. Look how many vowels are in Skinner. There's only 2. It's a 7-letter name.
It's a bang for your buck. Dude.
It's a bang for your buck.
Skinner! You could do it.
Okay.
Skinner!
So,
Not bad.
Jeff Skinner, we don't know.
Okay.
Next one, Ryan McDonough.
Playoff contender.
Do you think playoff contender?
Definitely.
Okay.
I want to say Pittsburgh.
Ooh.
That's interdivisional.
That's tough.
I'm not going to do that.
Because LA just picked up their lefty.
Indian for enough. Playoff contender. Ooh, man.
St. Louis.
McDonough?
Petro, your first top. That's your top pair.
I'm not against it.
And he's only 4.7.
Here, I'll ask you a question.
4.7 mil.
Being the Jets
Okay.
in Winnipeg,
Yeah.
are they going to make a big splash, or they're going to do like just
What do
send
they
off
need?
Someone?
In all reality, what do they need? They have top 6
Personally,
scoring.
I
They
don't
have
think
bottom
I'd
6
change
scoring.
anything.
The only thing that I would maybe get is a depth defenseman like an Ian Cole.
Oh.
No! Not Andrew McDonald! Enough! No.
You didn't want to do it, or what?
Ian Cole would be a guy I would go after. I'm just looking down this list here.
Okay,
Nick Holden's another guy.
Too far down the list.
I'm not too far
Way
down
too
the
far
list.
down the list.
I'm not too far down
You
the list.
named Nick Holden. Get out of here.
Nick Holden.
Yeah.
Tyson Barrie, another right-handed defenseman from Canada. He's also on this list.
Yeah, he's not
Okay, so we went through Ryan McDonough, Jeff Skinner. The last one, I'll just go with Alex Galchenyuk because
Where's Galchenyuk getting traded?
my opinion is New York, I think, could be an option.
That looks great. It does.
It does.
It does. I like that. I went do it for Zibanejad. I try and keep him. DJ Zibanejad.
Okay. So you trade Ryan McDonough to play with Shea Weber. There you go.
They're not going to trade their best defenseman or one of their best defensemen.
Montreal's done it twice.
Yeah, that's Montreal.
Fair
New
enough.
York can't do decisions like that.
You're right. You're right. No, you're right.
They pick up aging guys.
Yeah.
Got
they
it.
do.
I got it.
Oh God.
They don't want Galchenyuk. That why would they want a young guy when they could have Tom Spokane?
Oh
Go.
yeah, for sure.
For the Rangers.
Okay. Galchenyuk, seriously. Where
Rangers make a lot of sense.
Rangers make sense? You know who's another team?
Washington.
It wouldn't happen this year.
Go.
Dallas.
I've heard it.
Valiant Nichushkin comes back. Now you have Valiant Nichushkin playing with Alex Galchenyuk.
And put Radulov on there.
And put Radulov. Then you have the
We
Russian.
call it 2 Russians and an American. Just ridiculous.
Okay. Anything else?
Do I have anything else?
Yeah.
No, there's just a bunch of people got injured. Oh, we didn't mention. Well, everyone knows about it. Burroughs got suspended for 10 games. Did you see the UFC style knee?
Yeah, what the fuck was that about?
You know what? I wouldn't have given him 8. I would have given him 6 games because his top mount control is incredible. Being the UFC fan I am. But that's an illegal maneuver in many states. Not all states, but many states in the UFC. Because the UFC doesn't have sanctioned rules across the board. Because it's still illegal in a lot of states, which is silly. No, I saw you see he's an idiot. No, just a ton of people got injured. That's really it, but it's just sad being injured.
Vegas up on Chicago. Chicago being the story of the year, I think, right now. Their fans are going nuts. Holy crap, Buffalo beat Tampa. It's Armageddon.
It's happening, folks.
Actually, I want to make a side note. Last week, when the Islanders and Leafs met, the Islanders were third in NHL scoring for goals for. I believe it was third, or they were top 5. They were worst in goals against. They had 183 goals against when they met last week. Arizona, who's the worst team in the league, had like a 170. That's not what you want. That's not.
Did you hear about Matt
Carolina won 7-3 today.
Or are we just naming off all the scores?
I'm naming off scores. Okay,
No,
go
I'm
ahead.
going to name Matt Barzal. Matt Barzal of the Islanders is the second rookie in league history to record 3 games with at least 5 points in a single campaign. And the first to do so since the NHL's inaugural season in 1917-1918. And the other player to do it was Joe Malone, father to post.
Not really.
Yeah, fact. Oh, yeah! Seattle officially submitted tonight
Really?
their expansion application to join the NHL, and they paid their $10 million expansion fee. So
Could be real.
it's going to be real.
Yeah.
And then you move the Coyotes to Houston.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Get out of the state of Arizona
Yeah, and never come
forever. That's
Okay.
a baseball state. Leave it alone.
So, time for Faline.
For Darling. I have to make up the intro because Greg doesn't have it. So we do. Help! I fuck falling for Darling. Help! I can't get out.
No. That's terrible.
What was it?
Okay, so we got. I'm gonna go bottom 6.
Oh, it's
Just
spicing it up.
Yeah, well, because Montreal's there
Oh, yeah.
at 26th, and I just have to honorable mention them.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got Edmonton, who needs Rasmus Dahlin. Then you got Vancouver, and my phone just shut off. You got Ottawa, then Buffalo, and then Arizona.
Well, that's the same question I've asked since I started asking it. The one team you do not want
Edmonton.
to get. Edmonton?
Edmonton.
Okay.
They've had too many chances. It's over. I could dissect their team now. I've looked at that, and I've looked at it hard. A lot of bad signings to players
They're
that
not good.
no depth.
Did you see
Decor that doesn't work.
you see the great day Connor McDavid had the other day? On his 20th goal, it also happened to be his 60th point.
You know who else has
So,
20 goals already?
Hold on.
You know
on
who else
that
already has 20?
performance, based off
Phil
the
Kessel.
Okay.
Yeah.
But based off the
Again.
performance bonuses, like McDavid did on
Oh,
his
yeah.
20th goal, 60th point, that point alone in goal got him $425,000.
I just want something to get me $425.
That'd be nice. That'd be very nice.
It's like, oh, here's your 10,000th beer league point. Here's $425.
10,000 favorite points. No way. You might have 500.
Ooh, I have 1,000.
I don't think you have 1,000.
I had 100 in 1 year.
In like a calendar year or like one season?
One winter season.
How many games did you play?
32.
You had 100 points?
No, I think I finished the year with.
You for sure have at least a point a game. I know that. I can.
Oh no, I have it saved.
Oh wow.
It was a big deal.
Yeah, was it?
It was because I beat Trevor by 1 point.
Actually, I'll ask you. We're going to talk about it next week anyways because we'll be right in the middle of trade season because the first trade happened this evening. Do you think Toronto actually does anything? I think the Philly is staying put. They might try an off-out or something.
Finished with 67 points in 27 games.
That's not bad.
43 goals.
Okay.
I had a 43 goal season.
That's not bad.
In 27 games.
Do the Leafs do anything?
Yes. Yeah, I think they do.
You don't have to elaborate. We can talk about it next week.
No, I'm going to elaborate.
Good. That's fine.
I wouldn't be surprised if they make a run for Tyson Barrie. I know he's lower down on that trade list, and I don't know if Colorado wants to part ways with him, but looks like they're about to make it to the playoffs this year. Is kind of gone. With Makar, is that who they have?
Kale Makar?
Yeah, with him coming in the next couple of years, I think they could expose Barrie. And I don't think they'd be hurt too much. I think if there's a chance to get a right-handed defenseman, I think you can give up a first-round pick.
Like the Leafs?
The Leafs.
You don't think it'd be Mike Green?
I don't want Mike. He's too old. Like, he's still a formidable player. Like, I just know the price for Mike Green will be high for what you're going to get in return. Whereas I think you're going to get more value out of Tyson Barrie with what you're trading. I think they need to go after right-handed defenseman. I already said a fourth-line center. They're going to need to figure out what they're doing with Levo and Soshnikov. If they could trade Matt Martin, even if it's for fifth-round pick, and retain half of his salary, I'm okay with that. It's nothing against Matt Martin. Seems like a really good dude. I just think the reason why he was signed, he does not need to fulfill that purpose anymore. To protect the young kids, be a mentor. I think they have enough leadership in that room, especially with Patrick Marleau being there. And then once they sign Jumbo Joe next year, it'll be interesting.
And when they win the cup for the second time.
Yeah. The only other move I could see them do is James Van Riemsdyk getting traded.
That's fair. I could definitely see him going out the door.
I could as well, which would make way for roster spots for Levo and Soshnikov to get into the lineup, especially with the way Kasperi Kapanen's played. There's an opportunity there for them to make some moves. They have to, if they're not dealt now, I'll be very intrigued to see what they do with Bozak, Komarov, and Van Riemsdyk, but that's more of a later on thing. What about the Flyers? What do you think they do?
I think they basically stamp it, try and get rid of maybe Velto, Filppula, maybe like open up a space.
Filppula would be a good option for St. Louis, who needs some depth at center.
I think they maybe try and get rid of like a cup, like maybe if anyone will take a Manning or McDonald, just do someone.
Brandon Manning wouldn't be bad on the Jets. Would you rather have him over Ben Sherratt?
Oh yeah, definitely. But Manning's also. He's kind of a lightning rod. Like when he's out there, he
does his own thing.
He does his own
Can't
thing.
harness him in.
Oh, it's tough.
Where did he come from? Was he LA?
I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. I just remember him being on the team like 3 years ago, and I'm like, where are you from? Where'd you come from? And I never looked into it. I don't know if they drafted him or if he was just in the system. I honestly have no idea. I haven't even looked into it. But other than that, I think they pretty much stay put. I think they just because. I think they want to get Sanheim in, but every time they bring him in, they got to pair him with Gudas or like McDonald, and he can't play with the guy.
He was drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers.
Okay, what year?
Actually, was he even drafted? He might not have been drafted. He just got brought in. Played for the Chilliwack Bruins and played for the Phantoms for 1 year, where he put up 19 points in 46 games. Played 4 games with the Flyers that year. Played for Adirondack again. Got 21 points in 65. Then had 31 points in 73 games the next season with Adirondack. Then with Lee Valley, had 43 points in 60 games, and then they brought him up in 2014, 2015.
So he's been in the system since 2004. Yeah.
He also had 231 penalty minutes in the 2013-14 season for the Adirondack.
Yeah, he's a fighter. We know that.
And he had 83 last season. He's at 43 so far. Minus 12 last year, and he's a minus 3. He had 43 points in 60 games. It was a minus 13. Now, granted, plus minus is a BS stat.
Means he played a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, thank you for listening this week.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Whether it was on YouTube or via the podcast app that you so choose, whether that be through
Are
iTunes.
you using the podcast
or
app this week?
No.
So only on YouTube this week.
Only on YouTube this week.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, that's my bad.
YouTube.
My computer busted up.
Yeah.
And so Greg's handling everything
Okay.
this week.
But if you want to subscribe to the podcast for other episodes other than this one, Last Man In Podcast, wherever you get your podcast, whether that be through Google Play or iTunes, check us out there. Last Man In Podcast on YouTube. You can check us out there. Then you can also tweet at us, Last Man In PC on Twitter, or email the show lastmaninpc@gmail.com. Last Man In PC, as in post credit. Done.
I put it for podcast.
I know.
Now that I think about it, silly. I shouldn't have done it.
No, it's fine. Other people use PC.
I guess.
Just means we're politically correct.
That's exactly what that means, especially with that.
We're the last
women's
person
hockey
in.
comment earlier.
We're the last person in to yell political correctness at people.
That's not wrong at all.
No, I've never been politically correct, and I don't think I ever will be.
I'm definitely not, especially with my taste in comedians and everything.
Oh man, watching, listening to Ari Shaffir, yeah. Joe Rogan.
I just bought my tickets to Doug Stanhope last week.
Yeah, that's not a guy that's very
No, he's one of my favorite comedians.
politically correct.
PC
at all.
also stands for post credits because now this is just rambling.
Exactly.
Rambling.
Yeah, this is the last bit. If you stayed here this long,
If you stayed here this long, go ahead.
What's your favorite fried chicken?
Like place?
Yeah, I've never had Popeyes before.
Delicious.
So KFC's there. KFC's mine.
My top dog, it's chicken tenders from Culver's.
Never had Culver's either.
Well, you're about to change your life. Fix it. Don't fix it.
I want to go down to Fargo.
Okay.
And have a nice little get together with my best friends called Chipotle.
Oh, I don't like Chipotle.
Walk across the street to Culver's. Try Culver's.
Where, in Fargo or Grand Forks?
Fargo.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And then walk across the street from Culver's to Happy Harry's. Pick up some alcohol for cheap.
Yep.
And then from there go to Space Invaders or whatever that.
Yep. Never been there.
Neither have I.
Oh, sweet.
We have to try it. Yeah.
I'll be your DD.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
I'm not going to be drinking in the car.
Since you lasted this long, I'll leave you with a nice joke. So I woke up this morning to go take a picture.
See you next week!